Good evening and welcome to Suzuka, Japan. This is round 2 of the SimRacingHub 2026 World Championship. I'm your host, Janos Magasrevy. Again, I'll be alone tonight. No Matt Harto next to me. Let's see how long this goes, but that's what it is. Alright, so this is one of the most beloved tracks in the calendar from vast majority of the drivers. It's a fantastic track to drive. You definitely feel that you're going somewhere, and it's very high speed, and any small mistakes can send you to the wall, especially at the beginning of the track with the very quick S's. So yeah, we have a fairly cold air temperature here at 14.9 degrees Celsius. This is going to be probably tricky for the drivers to get the tires up to heat. And we'll see what happens. I think tonight we're having a full grid so far. We see some familiar faces returning, like our Janis Riera, who's already set the fastest lap of practice, 115.0. 125.5. Sorry, he was the fastest guy during the week of practice that we had. We had a shortened session on Tuesday because the server was set up very late on Monday, so drivers didn't have the usual amount of laps, but this is just gonna make it interesting tonight. Alright, we are a few minutes away from the start of qualifying. Let's see what the drivers are doing. Okay, here's our Janis Riera coming down 130R. Turn off the background music before I forget. There we go. Alright, we have 2 minutes to go before we start qualifying. Let's see, I see here 20 drivers. We have a couple of absentees tonight. One of them is Jacobo Cardoso. He's traveling. He's going to be replaced by Ricardo Sr. in the Haas. Here it is, sitting in his car. Ricardo Sr. taking the duties for car number 8. And the other missing driver, again, is Richard Walcott in the Williams. He's being replaced tonight by one Jeff Oppenheim. So yep, those are the two drivers. We have a full grid once again. We were missing one driver last time around. So we'll see what happens in qualifying. Previously, we had the guy that takes every pole position being taken away in 2025 by Ezequiel Montero. But if you see, the other 4 were taken by Argenis Riera, and I'm sure he has more than that. But this is the last 5, so Argenis Riera definitely looking strong again for another pole position. And with that, let's move on with qualifying. It's time for that. Server is switching sessions. Here we go. Let's see if we have someone in the chat. There's no specifics. Hello, no specifics. Again, number 1 follower. Let's see what this brings. Josh is looking strong as usual. But it's gonna be again another 3-way, probably at the beginning of a 3-way fight for the championship. Argenis definitely made it interesting early on by missing the first race, so he's already 25 points behind the leaders, but we've seen that he can win the championship even coming from the back. So let's see how this goes. And here they are, everybody going on track at once almost. And one thing that we changed this year is that the quickest drivers, before the quickest drivers were the ones early in the line to get on the track. This time we're making it the other way around. So the fastest drivers, they're all the way at the end of the pits. So they'll be handling traffic, or they'll have to wait before everybody leaves and make some room to have some clear air for the qualifying lap. All right, let's turn on all the overlays here. And let's see who starts setting the quickest lap time here. Who's the guy up front? They should be one of the back makers, probably Bill Whirl, probably one of the front runners there. He's typically up front when it comes to qualifying. I remember always going on track, and for some reason I always had to face Bill Whirl on track. Had to overtake him pretty much before the start of my lap. Alright, so yes, to answer your question, Janos is back. You see him at the top of the table as usual. And he seems to be very comfortable with this car, by the way. He's saying, oh, you guys are saving, or are you sandbagging? Because apparently he was able to put a very quick lap time with no issues. So here we go. Starting the lap here with Bill Whirl. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Janos Riera. We have a yellow flag momentarily. No sector set up. Let's see who's the first one to cross the sector 1 line. And that is Janos Riera. Somehow he's still being the first driver to cross that first sector. So I don't know how he did it. We'll have to check the replay to see if he cut the line, but that was very early. That wasn't expected. He did it at 30.8. Tenths quicker than Josh Mills in second. Ezekiel Montero is 4 tenths off the pace. This is a very tricky track, but when you nail it down, it just feels so glorious. I mean, all these corners are so quick, and the last one before this straight is critical, because if you don't nail down that exit, then you're gonna lose so much time down the straight. Again, there's some slide there. Chicane. Obviously 2 purple sectors, 2 tenths quicker than Mills. Let's see, Mills 10ths off the pace against Riera. Wow, 0.02 of a second between Josh Mills and Janos Riera. So Mills, well, Riera is still 2 tenths off the pace compared to his fastest lap, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna go out again and then, set a 125.3. He was probably saving some for qualifying, so they're probably heading back into the pits and get the battery recharged and a fresh set of tires before going out again. We have this tape. We just set the fastest sector 3. 16.6. It's a very short sector 3, only 16 seconds. And let's keep going here. Jean-Pierre Lancet, who had who's that car? Just saw a car going off track. Let's see if we can find who that is. Could have been Sotiri's third view, hard to tell. Here's Janos Riera going in the pits, getting new tires and getting ready to go again. It's gonna be on an outlap soon. The other twos are doing the same thing. They're coming into the pits. Okay, so there's a Red Bull garage. So where is I have to see where is the Riera's garage. That would be the other car. So Steven Rollerson, his teammate. Well off the pace here, 2.7 seconds off. Look at Juan Orrego, he's in P4. Doing very well on his first full-time season as a McLaren driver. His teammate is actually back. He was missing the first race, Aaron Rabi. He performed really well in the Winter Series. Actually, he was so comfortable ahead that he could skip the last round, the last of 3 rounds, and still made it into the permanent seats. So that shows you the pace that he has. But still, he's somewhat far behind. He's in P12 for now. So on his outlap, let's see who else is going to start soon. Here's Argenis Riera approaching the spoon curve. Again, critical to get a good exit here. Look at the length of the straight that's coming up. And we'll just remain here with Argenis Riera. He's probably going to go for the 125.4. Let's see if he doesn't make any mistakes. Car looks very well planted. Incredible grip. No twitching at all. The purple sector 1, no, 400s off the pace. His quickest lap. See if the other two can set up purple sector 1. Josh Mills also very close, only 2,000s, but we'll see what James can do on this lap. He might have another attempt after this one. So Montero did a 30.997, so his personal best sector 1. 30.7 for Josh Mills, also green. So I think Josh, let's see what Argenis shows up in sector 2. 2/10 quicker. This is looking like a 125.5. So Mills has a purple sector 1. Wow, 125.2. Wow, that is insanely quick. That second sector and third sector for Riera was so quick compared to the rest. Mills lost a lot of time in sector 2, so did Ezekiel Montero. And now they're going to be, I'm not sure if they're going to be coming into the pits again or recharging in this lap. They're not going to have enough time. If they go into the pits, they're not going to have enough time to go out again. So might as well recharge all the ERS throughout this lap and then try again. But you're gonna be with worn tires. Wow, what a lap from Argenis Riera. That was actually short. I was expecting a 125.5 and he did a 125.2, almost 125.3, but yeah, close enough. So let's keep an eye on Montero. Yeah, he's lifting a little bit, and we'll see what they do at the end. Aaron Rabe managed to jump into P5, so he's right behind his teammate, and for some reason he's stopping, maybe letting some cars by. Right. His teammate is in the pits already. And let's see what they do. So Mills is on an out lap. He's definitely rushing against the clock. It's a long lap, so he wants to make sure he gets there before the time expires, so he gets another chance at it. This is going to be really difficult. At least he has second place. Apparently it's secured, but we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if Montero is going to be able to put another lap time here. Not with fresh tires at least. Let's see, he's going to go out again. No, that's it for Montero. Montero is going to be P3 at the most. Let's see, Mills, the only car that can challenge Argenis Riera on track. Riera is sitting very comfortable now in the garage. He's actually, well, not in the garage, but he's getting there. That's do I see medium tires? He's already practicing for the start. Wow. Oh my god. Oh, the session is over, so this lap I'm not sure if it's going to count, but let's see. I didn't catch when the timer expired. Let's see. Let's see if I see some activity or if it's actually lifting off the pace. Let's see. Hundreds off the pace. Yeah, I'm not sure. I missed it. Oh, it definitely. No, that's it for the lap. It definitely went too long on that hairpin. So that's gonna be P2 for Josh Mills. Unless there's a surprise from somewhere at the back. Elisa Tape, we've known him. Oh, they're definitely not having a surprise from Elisa Tape. He's there in pieces. So let's go back to Josh. I think he lost about 6/10 at least with that long. Going on the grass now, definitely just cruising around to get to the pits. Yeah, 3 seconds, 3.7. So that's it. That's going to be yet again another pole position to man here in Aston Martin. Janos Riera already practicing for the races, using the medium tires, getting ready for that first start of the race for him this season. So we know, oh, Mills definitely pissed. Look at that, traveling, killing everybody here in the pit lane. All the imaginary mechanics, he's making sure the Red Bull is the last team in the pits. Alright, so we have Janos Riera probably going to dive into the pits right now, right? And Darren Fisher, Matt Harto should be here with me, but he decided, oh, it's time for me to return to tracks. So, alright, we'll let him do it. Let's see for how long. Yeah, I think Riera is starting on the mediums. I mean, we don't have any rules that you have to qualify on the same compound that you're going to start the race. But he was clearly practicing for the start. One more car on track. That's Bill Worrell. Bill Worrell, I always get his last name correctly. Alright, so everybody is in the pits. Let's see. I gotta handle the cameras and do all of this, so bear with me. Alright, let's see, what do we have? Let's go through the starting order and then we'll check for any penalties. Let's see, qualifying, here we go. So, in pole position, as usual, are Janos Riera. Then in P2 we have Josh Mills for Red Bull, Ezequiel Montero for Mercedes in P3. The two McLarens, Juan Orrego and Aaron Rabi, take P4 and P5. Elisa Tape for the Racing Bulls in P6. OTTO Acosta in P7. Alejandro Sanabria down there in P8 for Mercedes. Jean-Pierre Lalancette in P9 for Red Bull. Rounding up the first half of the grid is Darren Fisher for Kick Sauber in P10. Second half, we have Matt Harto in his favorite position, P11. Dejan Kovacic for Ferrari in P12. Glenn Cooper, not a great qualifying for the British driver. He's driving for Alpine this year. He's in P13. Sotiris Stergiou, the other Greek that we have, not Tony Mitsalis this year, but he's a Ferrari number 96. He's in P14. Steven Broderson, very far from his teammate in P15 for Aston Martin. Juan Del Castillo in P16 for Haas. Ricardo Senior substituting in for our friend Jacobo Cardoso, he's in P17. Sean Higgins, very unlucky qualifying for the Kick Sauber driver in P18. Bill Worrell in P19 and Jeff Oppenheim in P20 for Williams, 5.6 seconds off the pace. Alright, we'll have a quick look at the drivers to see if anybody violated the regulations here. Let's see. Alright, looks like everybody's clean, so let's move with the warm-up. Alright, we have one penalty that we have to apply today. That's 5 red spots for Jean-Pierre Lalancette for some incident that happened in the qualifying for Australia. So he's gonna drop down to P14. And that's gonna move the grid slightly. Okay, 3, 4, 5 Aaron Rabi, 6 Elisa Tape, 7 Oro Costa, Anderson Aaron 8, Aaron Fisher 9. Arto 10th. He's not gonna be starting his favorite position. Kovacic 11th. Glenn Cooper 12th. Sotiris Terju 13th. 14th for Ian Piela Lancet. Roderson in 15th. Del Castillo 16th. Ricardo Sr. 17th. Sean Higgins 18, Bill Worrell 19, and Jeff Oppenheim in 20th. So that's going to be the starting grid. Making sure I have everything set up here correctly. Alright, now that we have a few minutes, let's see if we can go through the current standings. So only one round so far. Ezequiel Montero is leading the championship. This is your top 10 drivers. We have, again, Montero with 25 points, 7 points clear of Josh Mills in second. And we have Alejandro Sanabria in third place. For now, let's see for how long. Juan Orrego in fourth. Glenn Cooper in fifth. Sean Higgins in sixth. That's a great position for him in the standings. Jacobo Cardoso in P7. Sotiris Terju in P8. Bill Worrell in P9. We already did more points than what Racing Bulls did in the entire 2025 season. And running up the top 10, we have Darren Fisher in P10 for Kick Sauber. Now let's go with the team standings. I gotta load this file. Alright, let's see how we're doing with the teams. We have Mercedes AMG Petronas with a commanding 40 points up front. Red Bull sits with 18 points, more than half. So a great advantage initially for Mercedes. In third we have McLaren F1 with 12. BWT Alpine F1 team in P4. We have Stake Sauber in P5. MoneyGram Haas in P6. Scuderia Ferrari in P7. Visa Cash app credit card scam in P8 with 2 points already. Yay, that's 2 points better than what they did last year. Williams Racing in P9 with 0, and Aston Martin down there at the bottom, P10. Momentarily, I expect to see a big 25 here in next round. Alright, so the drivers here are getting ready, preparing for the start, and hopefully we have a smoother start of the race, unlike what happened last time with the server crashing midway through the, well, not even midway through the race, but it crashed early on lap 15. We had to set up a red flag and, you know, get through the running order and all of that. So it's actually the second time we have to face something like this in the 10 years that we've been running this league. So one driver left. That's Elise Tape. Not really sure. I have to wait until he returns to reload the grid. Alright, so we have some activity here in the chat. Let's see while we wait for Elise Tape. Alright, yeah, first place, better hustle, yeah. Mills make it, no, he didn't. Alright, so porpoising, yeah, these cars still porpoise. We don't have the current regulations. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with these cars next year. Seems like it's a very different car than what we're running, and I don't know if there's any actual realistic physics for the 2026 cars, and we'll see what happens with all this battery nonsense that's going on with real Formula 1. I'm not sure if we're going to be emulating that, to be honest. The one thing I will make sure that it's removed is the DRS. That's not going to be used anymore from 2027 onwards. Alright, we have another one here in the chat. Skater Bautista. Wow, long time no here, man. It's been years since I last saw your name around. So yeah, you were part of the bunch here with Argenis Riera and Ezequiel Montero, and well, I guess you're rooting now for Sanabria, but yeah, very quick driver, but disappeared for some reasons. Alright, so we have Elisa Tape back. Make sure we set up the grid once again. And we are good to go for the race. Let's move to the session here. Yeah, definitely not going to the new regulations. I think it was working fine. I'm not sure why they made this 50-50 decision, but I'm sure they will regret it. They might be making adjustments already for 2027, but we'll see. I mean, people are excited because you're seeing overtakes on the actual race. Yeah, let me see. Somebody's asking. At least the tape is bringing up my name for some reason. He's asking for a quick warm-up restart. Alright, let's do that. Let's give him another chance here. Alright, let's see. Elisa Tape has some force feedback issues, and yeah, that's never good to to have a driver without force feedback. It just could cause an accident without that. Bill is helping out. Let's see if he can get it resolved, and then we can move on with the actual race. Let's see what's going on. Where's Elisa Tape? Here it is. We have some cars trying to go on track. Brotherson, I think I saw an Aston Martin. Oh, he left again. Alright, sorting some things out as usual. Let me make sure I get the regulations here right, because I think we added a few things here for drivers leaving in the warm-up. Let's see. Okay, only if park permit needs to be broken, that's where they have to go and start from the pit lane. Alright, we're giving Elisa Tape a chance here to rejoin. We were actually fine with the time, so that's okay. We can let him rejoin. That's fine. I want to see 20 drivers racing. Okay, there he is again. Let's see if it works. Why is it on top of another car? That's odd. $27. I'm not sure. There's a different car. Not really sure what's going on here. He's trying different car, different racing balls. All right, I think we're gonna have to go with it with 19 cars. Unfortunately, he's having issues. Anyways, okay, let's see. Oh, where, it's not showing. Okay, here it is. All right, next. Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now. Gotta practice some more. Make sure you got everything working fine. I guess he waited to the last minute, so that's what happens. All right, so we are now officially in the race session. Jeez, again? Oh my god. Again, once again, moving to the race. So apologies for that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have some words here with Lisa Tape after the race. Alright, let's see. So we have 25 seconds before the start of the formation lap. A little bit chaotic here from the beginning. So the cars are lining up on the starting grid. We'll go through the running order in a second. Let's give it a few more. Oh, actually, while we do that, let's make sure that we can see the replays today. So this is what I forgot to do something last time around, and that's why we couldn't see the replay from the start. So here we go. Let's go through the running order. Let's see if this is right. Alright, so Janis Herrera in P1, Josh Mills in P2, Ezequiel Montero in P3, and Juan Orrego in P4. P5 belongs to the other McLaren, Aaron Rabi. In P6 we have Elisa Tape. P7 for Otto Acosta. P8 for Alejandro Sanabria in the Mercedes. P9 for Darren Fisher for Kick Sauber. Matt Harto in P10 for Williams. Dejan Kovacic in P11 for Ferrari. Glenn Cooper in P12 for Alpine. P13 Sotiris Stergiou for Ferrari. Jean-Pierre Lalancette in P14 after the 5 grid spot penalty. Broderson in P15 and Del Castillo in P16 for Haas. P17 Ricardo Sr. in the Haas. Sean Higgins in P18 for Kick Sauber. Bill Worrell in P19, and rounding up the grid we have Jeff Oppenheim in P20. And here we go. Yeah, I think I'm becoming somewhat of an octopus here during the broadcast. I have to do the admin, I have to do the cameras and all of this, and also, you know, try to get you guys to listen to something interesting. Alright, so there's Mills right behind our Janis Riera. Hopefully the starting lights don't take too long. In the mini races on Tuesday they were taking very long to go off. We have the 20 cars on the grid tonight. Let's make sure I put the right information for you guys. So number of positions gained, this is what we're gonna show first. All right, almost there. A few more cars at the back of the grid. I have Jeff Oppenheim. He's starting from the pit lane. That's the car you see there on the left. So the countdown should begin soon, hopefully. Let's see. There we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are racing in Suzuka. Magasrevy with a penalty already. That looks like a false start. And look at that start from Josh Mills. Wow, already so far ahead from Yanis Riera. Wow, Mills is definitely nailing down the start. So we have a car dropping down the order. Matt Hart, no? Something went wrong in the midfield because we had some activity there. Let's see if I can turn on the tower here showing the positions. Yeah, we have 11 spots from Magasrevy. Had a really bad start. We'll look at the replay after a couple of laps and see what happened to him. I'm pretty sure it had to do with a false start because he got a penalty right away. But there they are. Still with extended battle. Wow, who's that? Oh my god. Oh, no. Who is that car? That was a dive bomb. Terrible dive bomb. Oh, it looked like that's a Bill Whirl. Oh my god, he completely lost it going on the grass there. What was wrong? Oof. Yeah, we'll look at those after a few laps. Let's just let this car settle down. Yanis Riera chasing Josh Mills. He's 6 tenths behind. Ezekiel Montero is keeping up with them. So we have a three-way fight right now for the race lead. Meanwhile, at the back I got the the live timing here lighting up with red. That means there's action going on. So we have a car going into the pits. He's missing half of the front wing here, Darren Fisher. The other one that I see is Bill. We have 3 cars in the pits actually. We have Dejan Kovacic, 4 cars already in the pits. Alejandro Sanabria, Dejan Kovacic, Darren Fisher. This one's already out, Magasrevy. But that was some chaotic lap 1. Oh, did I see a car standing? We'll have to look at that again. We have the first retirement of the night. It's already Juan del Castillo. Probably received too much damage from that off-road excursion there by Bill Whirl. I'm pretty sure it's going to be another busy night for the stewards after that incident right there. Meanwhile, up front, Mills is extending the lead slightly. Only 1/10 quicker than last lap around. But yeah, he's showing some good pace. We'll look at the tires. He's running the mediums, and I think Riera is also with the mediums. And so is Montero. So the compounds for this race are actually the hardest of the available sets. They are the C3, C2, and C1. So the mediums for tonight are the C2 compound. So yeah, this is a track that demands a lot of energy on these very quick turns here, very high G-force turns. The tires don't get to rest, especially the sector 1 is just pushing all the tires. There's not a single corner of the car that's not being pushed in sector 1, twisting and turning everywhere. Alright, so I think we may have a chance here to look at the replay from the start. Let's see. Well, not anymore because I forgot to hit Mark Replay Event. So let's do this manually. I'll go with, let's see, let me put here. Let's go with Magasrevy to see what happened. all of that, and I still forgot. Anyways, that was at the start of the race. Let's see what. Okay, so there's the lights. So he moved a little bit, and I think, oh yeah, definitely jumped the start. So that's where he lost all that much time. And then he started to drop positions. Let's see. Oh, he got, oh yes, look at all those incidents. Oh my god. How many cars involved here? We had Sanaria, we had, let's rewind and look at that again. There's probably gonna be some action at the front, but this was somewhat chaotic at the beginning. So look at all this. Ooh, okay, so Sanaria touched a cost and then lost control. And all these cars got affected by that. Lots of front wings going off. Wow, so that's what happened there. So the other one I want to catch, if I can right now. Let's see. Let's go through the field quickly. His Bill. Bill Whirl. Right on the grass. Complete. Oh my god. Oh wow. I completely missed that one. Oof. Yeah, that once you're there, I mean, you are just a passenger. All right, so let's go back live here. Up front, still the same running order. We have Josh Mills leading the race. Well, about the same gap as before. So let me just start cycling around here, the gap and all of these things. So he's 1 second. He's building on the gap here, and we have Ezequiel Montero actually catching Argenis Riera. He's 4/10 behind, so he's gonna have DRS, and meanwhile Argenis Riera is gonna be outside of the DRS this lap. So it's gonna make it interesting between these two drivers, the two arch enemies here, Argenis Riera and Ezequiel Montero. I think Argenis Riera has one more championship than Ezequiel Montero, but I gotta look at the numbers again. Turn off the name tags. So everybody's running the mediums except for Alejandro Sanabria down there in P18 for Mercedes. So looking like a tough night here for the second driver in Mercedes. Definitely not going to be scoring 40 points again. So the fastest lap of the race so far belongs to Josh Mills with a 129.9, the only driver in the 129s. And now Argenis has a great, I think his setup is built for the high downforce section because he gets really close to Josh Mills in sector 2. Look at that, I mean, he was outside of the DRS detection and now he has DRS once again, so this is just gonna be a train of cars. Who knows for how long, we'll see. Maybe Argenis is just saving fuel and tires at this point of the race, and then we'll see some action once we get to the pit stop window. Alright, so one driver out of the race, Juan del Castillo, from that damage. Let's see, let me just have a look at the chat here, make sure I'm not missing what you guys are talking about. Okay, yeah, La Lancette, yeah, you're right, La Lancette is now in P5, so he's starting in P14 now, showing up in P5. So great recovery there from the Canadian driver, keeping his head down. We have to do some coaching talks after last round, so he's doing his job. Things are working out so far for him in this race. So Elisa Tape, I guess he got his force feedback running again because he's still in P6. So I'm sure if you don't have any force feedback, you're not gonna be in P6. Trust me, that car feels like like yellow. You have no feeling at all. Very hard to control like that. Okay, what fight do we have going on here? Well, that the guys at the front seem to be the most active one. Then there's this one between Broderson and Higgins. Yeah, Riera is showing some sparks, so yeah, it's just amazing how different it is from Sector 2 between the two front runners. Was able to cut down on that gap substantially in the same lap. So yeah, the biggest gainer so far is our friend here, Jean-Pierre Lalancette. So he managed to evade all of those incidents from lap 1, unlike what happened in the early laps in Australia, where he was found in many of the wrong places. Okay, so we have a yellow flag in sector 1. Let's see if we have any drops in position. So these two are really going at it. Inside pass there from Sean Higgins. Meanwhile, up front, we have our Janis Riera 3/10 behind Josh Mills. So here's a straight. Let's see what happens here between these two. This straight doesn't have a DRS, by the way. You would imagine that this would be a place of the racetrack where they would put a DRS zone, but you have 130R, which is kind of looks like a straight when you're driving the car, but it's at 130 degrees bent. So yeah, that's the reason why there's no DRS in that part of the track. This right here, the main straight, that's the only place where we have the DRS. But yeah, so far it looks like Mills is able to keep up front. Let's see if the commentator's curse doesn't jinx him. Let me know if the audio levels are fine. I'll probably be testing out another microphone for next round. We'll see. We have another retirement, Elisa Tape. He was running in 6th position. He's now sitting in the garage. Pretty sure he had some technical issue, but let's see. Let me see if I can get a replay here. See if he had an incident or he lost control. Let's see. 130R. Did he go straight into the pits after this? Yeah, that doesn't look fine. Yeah, so he's retired on his own. He didn't crash, so maybe it had to do with the force feedback. So back live here we have up front still Josh Mills and our Janis Riera. Our Janis Riera inching closer now to the American driver for Red Bull, lucky number 13. It's interesting, that's the number that Mills is taking for his car. And Riera doesn't like to run number 1, by the way. He could have run that for many seasons, but no, he's just sticking with number 43. Stay on board for a little long here. Well, these guys already have an 81 seconds ahead of OWTO Acosta, who's having another dismal race. I'm not sure what's happening to Acosta, but his performance has been dropping dramatically the past 2 seasons. Something's off. Maybe he's not used to this type of cars, but it's not the Acosta that we're used to, back from when he actually won the championship a few years ago. Yellow flag in sector 3. Gotta find a way to understand what's triggering these flags, and then they can go through the running order and find out. Okay, so we have another retirement. Who's that car right there? That seems to be, yep, Jeff Oppenheim retiring on the main straight. Oh, another one. We have 3 retirements so far. Well, this is Suzuka. He's used to have, these many cars retiring, so expect a few more. On the good side is that nobody has retired yet from a crash, especially the turn number 1. But there's the Casio Triangle, I think is the name of it. I'll just go on board with Josh Mills and let you know which corner is the one that claims the most lives here. Yeah, I thought so, man. You gotta prepare. You gotta prepare better, I guess. So this is the section of the track where I'm saying here, this corner right there. If you don't nail that right, you just end up straight on the wall and definitely out of the race. So yeah, we have Elisa Tape here in the chat saying that the wheel freaking died. So what wheel are you running? Normally it has to do with some USB issue or power. One of the two. Not really sure which brand you're running. Purple Sector 1 for OWTO Acosta down there in P17. I'm sure he had some sort of incident. We missed it, of course. He wasn't running too far back at the beginning, so maybe spawn or something. Because we've seen Acosta spin. Oh! Major development here. Let's see what happened. We have a retirement from our Janis Riera. Not the start of the season he was looking for. Did he crash? Did he disconnect or he lost it at 130R? Let's see. Oh my, no, that had to be a disconnection. It makes no sense. Just drop out of nowhere. Oh wow, so Riera is already starting to show signs of the bad luck he had some years ago. And this is just gonna make leave some breathing room now for Josh Mills here leading the race. Meanwhile, Ezequiel Montero is 2 seconds behind Mills. And these two are just gonna heat up the championship now and claim a lot of points. So we have Janis Riera apparently showing up in the pits. So maybe he reconnected. But he's gonna be way down there in P17, very early in the race for this to happen. But we've seen Riera before with this type of issues, and then he just climbs back and gets a few points. So we'll see what happens tonight. He's already a lap behind, so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on the timing and scoring here to see if he gets back on track. It's no coincidence that he's running the Aston Martin, so we kind of saw what happened in the real race in Australia. You know, these guys were going into the pits and then back out again, and they were doing that throughout the race. So yeah, it seems like he's going back on track. Another retirement here from Aaron Rabi. I think we're not running live right now, but let's see what happened to Rabi. Just retired. Control here. Aaron Rabi, this section. Okay, he probably lost it where I was talking about this part of the track. Let's see. There we go. That section of the track is just so difficult. I mean, any misfoots there, and you're gonna end up just like that. Anyways, I think we're now running live. Wow, we have already 4 DNFs, and our Janis Riera, who's apparently trying to go back on track, but he's already 1 lap behind the race leaders. It's gonna be hard for him to get some points, but definitely not impossible. He's done it before. So alright, so we have Josh Mills in the pits. I see white tires. This is a C1 compound. From the feedback on Tuesday, these tires are not so good. So let's see what he can do. Let's have a look at the lap times and let's see if the undercut's gonna pay off for Josh Mills. He was about 2 seconds ahead of Ezequiel Montero before going to the pits. Let's go now with Montero. Let's see, Montero tends to go long on these stints, especially after he looks at how soon the others are pitting, so we've seen him before, going long. Let's see, speaking of that, let's see what was the last 5 winners here. We have our Janos again dominating this track. Yeah, he's been, 4 victories for him in the past 5 years. We have Josh Mills right there in 2024, so he's looking like he's gonna get another one, but we'll see if Montero has something to do with that. And on the podium last year we had our Janos Riera, of course, Richard Walcott, who's not here tonight, and there I am in P3 2025. It's one of my favorite tracks, by the way, so yeah, I tend to do good here. But yeah, one of the tracks I missed, this one, and of course Spa. The others I'm okay. I'm okay not racing those. But this is one of those that it almost made me want to connect the steering wheel and all of that, but too much work for this. And I'm sure I'm not going to be challenging these guys up front, so yeah, I'll just stick to commentating for now. Right, so Montero right there on track, 17 seconds ahead of Juan Orrego. Orrego is becoming the dark horse of the league. He's quietly there in 2nd place. Really performed well last year as a substitute driver, scoring as many points as possible. He even managed to secure a seat without being a permanent driver. So he secured a seat for 2026, didn't have to go through the winter series. So that tells you he's quite consistent. Right, so Riera, I think he actually called it quits. He's showing now with the DNF. So wow, Janos Riera is going to be down 25 points potentially if Montero can secure the win. There is a big gap here to come back from, especially how tight this field is between Montero and Mills and Riera. I mean, anybody can win races here between those 3. But this is where you get a 3rd driver with a chance here. You have Jean-Pierre Lancet now in 3rd place. Let's see if he's gonna play team here and let Josh Mills by. Because Josh definitely needs some time over. So there you go. Lancet goes into the pits. Not sure how much time Mills lost there, but last lap around, Mills did a 131.3 and Montero did a 131.7. So Lancet is going in the pits and he's putting the hard tires. Montero, meanwhile, remains out there. Same first compound that he was running from the beginning of the race. And I believe also Juan Orrego. Meanwhile, we have Mills catching up with Juan Orrego. This is gonna be critical here for Mills to overtake him quickly. Because the gap so far is 18 seconds. This delta here in this pit lane is about 20 seconds. If you want to be comfortable ahead. And it looks like Montero doesn't have that gap yet, but he soon will, especially if Mills is unable to pass Orrego this time. Let's see, some main straight. Nope, no, he couldn't do it there. Wow, this part of the race is gonna cost Mills dearly, but now there's the DRS opening, fighting side by side, and now he makes the pass. There we go, let's see. So he's 18.8 seconds behind, 19.3, sorry. This gap here on this track is always being a little bit iffy here. Now it's 19.4, so it switches back and forth, but yeah, I'm not sure if Ezequiel Montero is aiming at a one-stopper, but it's getting to that window now where he can just stop and put the hard compound and go all the way to the end. Let me see if I have some different information. We have some drivers that haven't pitted yet. Obviously Montero, Orrego, Glyn Cooper quietly there, and look at Matt Hartle in P5. Wow, Matt Harton much better than his favorite position. Running in P5 so far, scoring great points. Let's see for how long he's gonna remain there. Jean-Pierre Lalancette has a purple sector 3. Much quicker than the rest of the field. He did a 17.0. That is very quick compared to the rest. Lalancette looks like he's gonna be setting up fastest lap. Okay, so we have Montero in the pits finally. So yep, similar strategy, but not really. He's running the mediums again, so he has to stop one more time. And meanwhile, Josh Mills set the fastest lap of the race during that rotation. All right, so I think for you, no specifics, you're gonna be relaxed from now until the end of the race, because it looks like Mills is in control of this already, 4.8 seconds ahead of Ezequiel Montero. You know, a different type of strategy, by the way. Now Montero has, in theory, the faster compound against Mills, who's running mediums. So let's keep an eye on the gap and let's see if it goes down. But yeah, he was saying he was struggling to get temperature on these tires. It probably has to do with this low air temperature of 15 degrees. But it was all purple for Josh Mills. We have a yellow flag. Yellow flag in sector 1. 3 cars all deciding to join the pits. Broderson, Sanabria and Darren Fisher. All of them at the same time. Oh wow, we have a side-by-side. Oh my god, let's see what happens at the exit. There we go. Nobody killing each other. Alright, Broderson stepping there on the white line. We don't police that too hard, but yeah, only when it really affects another driver we care. Meanwhile, 4.4 seconds. So yeah, Montero is actually creeping in, but yeah, he needs to be much quicker than this. He's running the medium compound. Pretty sure that Mills is gonna pit again and he's gonna put another set of mediums. Not using the soft. I doubt that they'll be using the soft tonight. Right, any other fights going on? We have Sanaria, of course, behind Broderson after that pit rotation. This one seems to be the closest one. What do you mean it's not the year, Argenis? We have Argenis here in the chat. It's not the year, it's only 2 rounds, man. You have 16 rounds to go. So, yeah. I've seen you coming back from worse than this. So, only thing that's gonna work for you tonight is if Mills wins and not Ezequiel. Otherwise, you're gonna be 50 points behind. Purple sector 1 and purple sector 2 for Ezequiel Montero. Another car in the pits. This is Dejan Kovacic. I think this is his second time around. Alejandro Sanabria managed to pass Broderson there with the DRS. Let's go back with the front runners. Wow, look at the gap. It's coming down very quickly. So Montero 3, oh well, I say that and then it goes up and then down, but look at that, 3.2, 3.1, and it's gonna go up again. 3.7, yeah, something is really off with your life timing here on this track. It always gets you excited when you're driving. Oh, I'm catching up the other driver, and then you fall behind out of nowhere. But anyways, the last lap from Montero was a 128.9 and Josh Mills did a 130.3. So yeah, Montero is substantially quicker. He really needs to catch him if he wants to win this race. Let's see, let's have a look at the timing to see if we have 5 going on. This one, no, not really. I mean, the closest gap that we have is Higgins and Fisher, but these two are teammates, so I'm not sure if we're gonna actually see a fight here. So yeah, we're approaching halfway point, and let's see what the pit situation is. We still have one driver without pit stops. That's Bill Worrell showing up in P10. Might be coming into the pit soon, actually. And then all of the retirements. So yeah, just Bill is not showing a pit stop yet. Let's see, he's in the points. And he seems to be comfortable ahead, but as soon as he pits, he's gonna drop at least to like P14. Especially after that start that he had on the hairpin. You know, going off track and then, you know, hitting a few cars. So we'll see what happens with the stewards. Alright, 1.8 seconds is the difference now between Josh Mills and Ezekiel Montero. So at least the fight that is cooking here is for the race lead. That's what we want to see. Let's go on board with Ezekiel Montero. If you haven't done so, please hit the like and subscribe button. That's how the channel will grow. Also feeds the YouTube algorithm. Oh, it's right there, so he has clear visibility now of Josh Mills. Soon going to be within the DRS zone. Oh yeah, so yeah, you lost connection. Well, I mean, sometimes you are on the wrong side of luck. Definitely, the last year was working well for you, Janos, but yeah, we saw Ezekiel Montero with kind of the same issues last year that we're having right now with these connections and game crashing and all of that. But this is just the first race that you're participating this year so far, so I can say it's a curse already. I guess we'll see you again in 2 weeks. I believe we're gonna go to Bahrain because in the virtual world there's no wars going on. Right, so this is getting close now. Montero definitely quicker. But one thing is catching, the other one is passing. We'll see. You changed graphics today, but well, you gotta find out if you actually lost connection or was it a game crash. Alright, so yeah, he got close, but not close enough. Red Bull having a great race so far. We have Josh Mills in P1, and then we have Jean-Pierre Lalancet in P3. So yeah, they're gonna get some points now out of Mercedes. There's only one driver, Sanabria is still out of the points, so it's just Montero there with 18 points so far. 5, half a second now. Oh my god. Lalancet showing up 11 positions gained from the start of the race. Alright, let's see what happens. Here's the DRS line. But Mills has a fantastic exit. Just pulls away, makes it very hard for Montero to get close enough and make the pass. And the thing is that Montero is gonna run out of tires before Mills, so he needs to get this done very early. Otherwise, the strategies are gonna be, diverging at the end of the race, and we'll see the tire difference. So, Kater, why are you not running with us? You should be a reserve driver. Lap 23 of 53, almost halfway there. It looks like these two are going to be like this for a little while, now that we know that Mills has great exits. This might be another section where Montero can pull an attack, but I know that Mills likes to run low downforce, and then that's why it's very hard to pass him on the straights. You have to go with a dive bomb here on the chicane. Maybe that's the best option for Montero. Big slide there for Montero. I think he has a better exit this time. Maybe he's close enough. We'll see. Alright, yeah, he's gonna go for it. Montero takes the lead. No. Oh, no. Wow, look at Mills going wide. He managed to save it. That was close for Josh Mills, but as far as I can tell, there was no contact there by two drivers. He just got lucky that the track now has a tarmac there and not the gravel. In the past, that was gravel, and that was game over if you went off track in that section. Montero's gonna start, the afterburner, and we'll see the lap times going purple and purple and purple. Alright, so not to panic yet. Remember, these two are running different compounds. Mills is on the harder set. Meanwhile, Ezequiel Montero is running the mediums. So we have Matt Harto running the soft compound, squeezing the performance out of those C3s. Apparently, they're not the favorite compound this year. It used to be the best one so far, the past at least 3 seasons, as far as I remember. C3. Let's see if there's any other fights going on. Already 1.4 seconds ahead. Ezequiel Montero, the new race leader. Alright, let's see. I think Ezequiel Montero is now pulling away substantially. 2 seconds already. Sanabria, the one that's getting close now to Bill Worrell. As for the last point, let's see if Bill pitted or not yet. No, Bill's still running with the same set he started the race. Only car so far without a pit stop. And we are officially halfway through the race. Lap 26 of 53. There's Sanabria right behind Bill Worrell. right there, but Bill is not easy to pass, I'll tell you that. Sanabria on the inside of 130R. There we go. Pit stop from WTO Acosta. See, another set of mediums for Acosta. And now Sanabria is in the points, now scoring some points for the Mercedes. Looks like 26 points so far, well actually 27 points. He's moved up another position. Ezequiel Montero in the pits. Well, that was unexpected. It was a quick pit stop by the way, but that was quite earlier than expected. Maybe he's thinking of a different strategy. Interesting. Ezequiel performs really well here in Suzuka, by the way. He doesn't show that he's won so many times, but yeah, it's one of his favorite tracks, and then you see him challenging for the victory every time. Just hasn't been lucky enough to have more victories. I had a great fight with him. I think it was in like 2016 or 17, one of those years. Great fight. It was like the whole 53 laps, you know, back and forth. You know. And I think he ended up winning that race, but I remember it's a great fight. Okay, so Montero is again running the mediums. So I'm not really sure what the strategy here is with Mercedes, but he's definitely he has a bit again. I didn't see him starting with the hard compound. Wow, that's quite odd. Quite odd. Okay, Kovacic. We have a three-way fight here. Yes, we have a three-way fight for P10. Kovacic on the inside. Wow, look at these three cars. Acosta just came out with new tires and now he's finding himself behind these cars. Oh, he's probably having fun, let me tell you that. Chasing the last point. I'm just wishing that he can finish this race for once. Well, hopefully it's not the commentator's curse. Let me go back with Kovacic. Kovacic seems pulling away. These two are right at it. Costa and Fisher. Higgins with the soft, Harto with the soft, and Sanabria with the soft. So different strategies going on. But I'm not really sure what's happening with Montero. That, to me, that was very early. I wasn't expecting him to be pitting this soon. So, ooh! Touching each other there. Fisher and Higgins. Sorry, Fisher and Acosta. Wow, who's that? Oh, that's a blue flag. That's what it is. So we have Mills. Mills finding himself in traffic. Making it clear. Just move out of the way. Montero purple all the way. Of course, he has a new set of mediums. But he's already 18 seconds behind Josh Mills. And I don't believe that Mills is going to be pitting that many times. He probably has one more stop to go and with a set of mediums probably, and he's going to be good to go to the end. Going back here, Acosta and Kovacic, the last point right here so far for Dejan Kovacic in the Ferrari. Alright, so Cater, you're buying a new wheel. Which one are you getting? Mosa? Pit stop. Okay, here we go. Just, as soon as you go outside of the slipstream, definitely boost momentum there. Drag hits, and then yeah, unable to make a pass. And look at how Kovacic pulls away, kind of similar to what we were seeing with Mills and Montero. But look at that power difference. Wow, that was just so easy again. Has to do with the DRS. Okay, we have a yellow flag in sector 2. Let me see if I see any drops in position. Haven't seen too much of Glenn Cooper. Another one that quietly just moves up the field. Him and Juan Orrego, I mean, they're just 4 and 5 right there. Haven't seen much of these guys in the race. And look at, wow, so far, this has to be the surprise of the night. If you remember Ricardo Sr. last season, I think he just scored 1 single point in all 18 races. And so far, right now, he's in P7. This will be a great finish if he can pull it off. Great result for Haas as well. I mean, the other car retired from Juan del Castillo. Was the first retirement of the night. Oh my god, let's see. Let's keep an eye on Ricardo. I mean, he's in P7. That would be a great finish for him. Let's keep going through the field here. We probably haven't shown a few more drivers. DNF, so a bunch of DNF. And then we have the last running car so far is Steven Brothers on P14. So this is again going to be most likely another 0 for Aston Martin. So you can scratch what I said at the beginning of the stream. You know, saying that they were going to get a 25 point at least after this race. Well, that's incorrect. They're most likely going to end with another 0. It looks like Bill finally made his pit stop and now is showing in P13. Okay, another fight. So Stereo here behind Ricardo Sr. They want to start snatching points from the Venezuelan driver. Substituting Cobo Cardoso, also from Venezuela. I think tonight there's a free practice in real Formula 1. Probably after this race is over, we get to see that. Those liveries that they're taking, they look awesome. The one from Haas looks awesome. I really like that one. Guess it's the Toyota hand in there. Okay, so yeah, this is the closest fight that we have. There's another one here, by the way. There's Costa chasing Alejandro Sanabria, so we have to be switching between these two, but this apparently is the closest gap. Costa with Sanabria. Yeah, I wish I could show you different angles, but yeah, there's just too many keys to be pressing and I don't have enough here. I kind of need a third monitor now if I want to be able to do all of that. So for now, yeah, there's the onboard and then the track cameras. Costa very close, 3/10 behind, and then that's is that Lalancet? No, that's Josh Mills. So let's keep an eye on the blue flags showing up. There's the blue light. Yeah, so this is gonna be really tricky to do. I mean, how do you pull this off? You have to let Mills at the right place, and then maybe you have an opportunity to make an overtake. But if you stick too long like this and then you're shown the blue flag, then you are risking getting a penalty from the game. So yeah, there's Acosta moving, and now Sanabria is the one that's gonna get there. There's a blue flag. I think both drivers are seeing the blue flags. So yeah, they gotta move soon. There's Sanabria out of the way, and now where will Acosta leave room for Mills? Yeah, when you're leading a race, it's not the best thing you want to see. You're seeing a fight going on ahead of you, and now you have to wait for probably a straight before you are led by. my opinion, I think the blue flag should be abolished, to be honest. Just make them overtake you, that's it. Sometimes that's even the best option, to be honest. At least you know you have to make a pass. Some drivers, you can't really tell if they're gonna let you by or make a mistake or what, but well, let's see. Last lap, 130.7 from Mills, and Acosta did a 131.3, so Mills is quicker, but look at Acosta is actually pulling away. Just visually there, it's just pulling away. We have Matt Harto in the pits. He's running now with the mediums. Well, he's coming out in P5, so yeah, great so far for Matt Harto. He's gonna score a good amount of points. Meanwhile, there's Mills catching up to Acosta there for another lap. But Acosta is showing some speed now. I think he had some issue at the beginning. We just didn't catch that. But there's no chance that you're running this quickly and then the race leader is unable to catch you. Two cars in the pits. Sanabria and Fisher. Sanabria is coming out with another set of mediums. I think he was running soft before. And there's Fisher with the hards. I think those guys are putting hards at this point. They're gonna go all the way to the end of the race. So up front, there's 14 seconds different. Again, we have to ask Montero when we get to the press conference, what happened with that second pit stop that early? That was really unexpected. So Argenis doesn't want Cater to join the league. Well, I mean, it was fun when you guys were here. You, Argenis, and then Ezekiel and Cater. You guys joined all at the same time. I think I saw another Ricardo Senior fight here. Senior is behind Acosta. And Mills is now having to deal with... Okay, so Mills is diving into the pits. He probably said, enough of this. I'm just going to be losing too much time behind this traffic. So obviously Montero is going to be well ahead, but I think Mills is going to be good to go to the end probably, especially, okay, he puts another set of mediums. So he's going medium, hard, mediums. But there's 18 laps to go. Yeah, 18 laps to go, and we'll see what happens. Montero now retakes the lead of the race. 9 seconds clear. So the question is, will Mills pit again? That's something to be seen. Montero definitely has to pit again. He hasn't switched compound as far as I remember. He's been running all medium so far. So we'll probably see him pitting soon and putting a set of C1s. La Lancetta in the pits. Set of hard compound. Coming out in P4, and then Harto somewhat back. So La Lancetta looking good for a fourth place, and then look at Glenn Cooper in the last step of the podium, but this probably going to change after the next time he pits. I see Glenn Cooper here with one pit stop. He's probably going to have to pit once again. Although he's been able to pull one stoppers on tracks that you wouldn't expect that. Alright, so you're going with the SimMagic lineup. Yeah, well, that's a good choice. I mean, I think those steering wheels look very solid. Some people are just selecting Mosa, but yeah, SimMagic is also quite good. I was looking into that brand, by the way, before I call it quits, at least temporarily. But yeah, next time if I ever race again, it's probably going to be with a direct drive wheel. I already had enough of the Fanatec Club Sport. I think it's a belt-driven base. Yeah, I will see. I think I'm still far from returning to the tracks. It's probably gonna take a few more years. So well, so far I'm enjoying here. I don't see Richard Haney here in the chat this night, or Ivan Georgiev. I mean, those are the usual suspects here. So if you guys are watching, well, let's just say hello. And if you guys want to join me in the booth, I would appreciate that. I'll have to start getting more water here. Okay, what's going on here? Look, we have Acosta. Looks like it is the only one giving us some type of show so far. Because up front the gaps are very large. We have 8.5 seconds between Montero and Mills, and then 20 seconds behind is Glenn Cooper. So these gaps are all double digits, 13 seconds, 13, 16. Not so close. These cars are not giving us so many close fights like the ones we had last year. They're probably getting used to it, and it seems like the energy management here is more not like the real Formula One, but it's really having an impact on how you deploy the batteries and how do you harvest all the energy. Now, some drivers are benefiting more, especially when you coast a lot. Last year's car, it was regenerating the battery only while hitting the brakes. This year is when you're actually coasting, so the brakes are not regenerating anything. So yeah, that makes you, in a way, switch your driving style if you want to be competitive. And some drivers are just able to have the ERS available, more than others, just because of that. Okay, so Glenn made his second stop, and he's putting the soft compound. That's interesting. Matt Harto. Okay, so we have the two British drivers right there. Let's see if Matt can pass Glenn Cooper for P4. That would be a great finish for Matt Harto. Keep in mind that Harto is running on an old laptop, and he's probably running on a improvised setup with a test that is wobbling and all of that. So I'm pretty sure he's not running the latest and greatest, aluminum frames and direct drive wheels and all of that. That has to be your typical Logitech wheel, and then your pedals, and maybe some carpet so that you don't move on the office chair, and that's it. So yeah, Matt is pretty good. Let's see if next race we get to see his teammate showing up this season. He's been busy, Richard Walcott. I think busy with work, unable to participate so far. Purple sectors 1 and 2 and 3 for Josh Mills. Sets the fastest lap of the race. 128.3. Full second quicker than Ezekiel Montero on that last exchange. And we have another retirement. We missed this one. Is Sean Higgins retiring? Ended up in P15. So we have 14 cars running. Meanwhile, Ricardo Sr. dropping a few positions, but still within the points. If he snatches a point, that will be a victory for him, especially after equaling the total points from 2025. Okay, back again with Acosta now chasing Juan Orrego, dropped to P7. Sure, he had a pit stop not so long ago. Alright, so if you are still here, say something in the chat. I see a number of viewers, but not so much activity going on in the chat room. No specifics, I'm not sure if you're there. You're probably thinking of what's the strategy going to go here with Mills and Montero. Yeah, Fanatec has a good lineup, but there's some issues with quality with Fanatec. I mean, Jacobo had some issues. Jacobo Cardoso, he had some issues with a wheel and those losing connection, the wheel between the base, and he was just destroying races for him. And yeah, that's just not the way it should be built, in my opinion. And their customer service is really bad. I'm not sure now that they're part of Corsair, but but yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think they're falling behind a little bit. They need to have like, okay, so Orrego going off road, and now that made it easy to Acosta. Acosta now in P7. He's coming all the way back. Remember that we saw Acosta, I think, in P17 at one point. He's climbing all the way back. He's now P7, and he's not too far from Sotiris. Acosta is 1.7 seconds behind Sotiris. So what I was saying about Fanatec, I mean, I think they're missing like a proper Formula 1 wheel with an LCD screen. And you're seeing SimMagic, and you're also seeing Mosa and a few other brands that are coming up with this Formula 1 style wheels with an LCD screen that you can configure the way you want it. And then that's what drivers are looking for these days, hardcore drivers. The one that looks more like that on Fanatec, I mean, it has no screen. It just shows the digits for speed or the gears, and that's it. I mean, they do have some other GT style, like the, I think it's the Porsche, and I think they have other brands. BMW might be one of those too, with some screens in the middle, but yeah, not like Formula 1. Okay, Matt Hartle is 1.8 seconds behind Glenn Cooper. They're lapping about the same lap time. 29.80 versus 29.84 from Cooper. So yeah, these two are neck and neck, but you gotta climb back. Now Acosta is within the DRS from Sotiris Stergiou in the Ferrari. Starting to think about who's gonna be the driver of the day. I think it could be Lalancet. I mean, considering he started in 14th position and now he's in the podium. And he's managed to stay away from trouble, even though he's not actually competing for the victory here. He's 46 seconds behind his teammate. But still, I mean, that's quite a feat here to come from P14 all the way up to P3. Let's see if he can secure that podium from now until the end of the race. For now, let's stick with Acosta and Stergiou. Alright, so Stergiou dives into the pits, and that puts Acosta now in P6. Let's see if Sotiris puts the soft. There's 12 laps to go. It's gonna be soon lapped by Ezequiel Montero. So now these two guys up front, I missed this part, but yeah, that means Ezequiel Montero is in the pits, that's why. I just noticed the gap was coming down very quickly. What? Okay, so there's a soft. So Montero, very different strategy compared to Josh Mills. Running the soft compound, and we have 11 laps to go, and he's gonna have to get back 16 seconds against Josh Mills. 17 seconds. So Mills can actually be cruising now from this lap to the end of the race, and he could still win the race. So he can start saving tires and start making it difficult to Montero. Yeah, it looks like that strategy was kind of odd. I think he was trying something different. But I'm not sure if it's going to pay off. We'll see if Mills needs to pit again. Because he pitted some laps ago, but yeah, it's going to be hard. It might not be a bad idea, depending on how bad those tires are so far, for Mills to pit in this lap and put a set of softs. So that's going to make it a fight on track to the actual victory. Blue flags there, lapping the McLaren. I'll have to see which one. I think I see Hard to tell right now, but I gotta see the color of the T-cam. That's the black. I think that's probably Orrego. Yeah, that's Orrego. So these guys have lapped already all the way up to 7th. Wow. 6th, sorry, to 6th place. They're definitely in a different league so far, these guys. Mills, Montero, all of them. Alright, so Acosta pitted and he's now dropping to P8, but he's gonna be against Sanabria once again. Let's stick with these guys for now. Costa much faster than Sanabria, and he also has a faster tire. C3. Alright, so here's where you get the DRS. Let's see if Costa can pull the pass. So 10 laps to go, as you can see there. And Montero, I don't think he's going to be able to make it. He's setting purple times, but there's too much of a gap to climb. Costa trying to go on the inside, but Sanabria's not going to make it easy. Sanabria's not really... you know, these two guys are not going to make it easy at each other. I tell you that. So Sanabria can be forcing Acosta to overdrive those tires, and if you really chew them up early, then you're gonna be suffering at the end of the race. And that's what happens with the C3 compound. if you destroy it too early, then it's game over pretty much. 27.2, fastest lap of the race from Ezequiel Montero. That was 2 seconds quicker than the last lap from Josh Mills. Oh god, this is gonna be interesting at the end. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if Montero can make it to the end with that set of soft tires, but let's keep an eye here on Acosta, still behind the gearbox of Alejandro Sanabria, and they are going to be hitting traffic right now. There's the Aston Martin of Steven Broderson up front. Let's see if it makes it easy for them. Again, the worst part of the track, to face some traffic. There's the blue flag. Blue flag again. Oh, okay. That was a bit scary, but it went through fine. That was quite scary, but there's another car behind Broderson. Who is that one? Okay, so Broderson is being caught up by many drivers. So Ferrari now behind. I think that Ferrari belongs to Sotiris Stergiou, going by the color of the T-cam. Okay, so no traffic in sight, as far as I can tell. Back to, let's see, where is that fight again? Ahora Costa with Alejandro Sanabria. Ten seconds is the difference between Mills and Montero. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's gonna be close? That's probably gonna be the question now for the poll. Let's just put it up here. Star poll. Let's put it here. Mills or Montero. Time to vote. Mills 13 seconds ahead of Ezequiel Montero. The last lap was 29.0 for Montero and 29.3 from Mills. So I think Montero used up all the ERS during that fastest lap of the race. And while I was setting up this poll here in YouTube, we saw the pass there from Acosta. So Acosta now is in P7 and it's gonna be 2.3 seconds behind Juan Orrego for P6. So he can still snatch another position and set up a finalize a comeback from that recovery at the beginning of the race. Meanwhile, we have Jean-Pierre Lancet so far still in P3. So let's take a moment here. Well, now we have a fight between Fisher and Senior. Wow, this is for the last point, guys. Let's see. Last point of the race between these two cars. Ricardo Senior definitely trying to get this. No longer a full-time driver. He lost his seat in the Winter Series and is no longer part of Aston Martin or Janis Riera's teammate. So he'll be looking at maybe coming back next year, but he needs to be increasing his performance. Oh, there's Fisher. There is Fisher getting the last point so far. Now it's gonna be Senior falling down the order. Just Kovacic is right 2.7 seconds behind. Okay, now we have Acosta. Acosta's right there already behind Orrego. But there's traffic once again. Now he's shown the blue flags, and Acosta has been dealing with this throughout the night, catching up drivers and then being shown the blue flags. It just makes it very tricky. He's gonna be exhausted at the end of the race, I'll tell you that. There's the blue flag, and then Montero needs to go through. And he needs to go through right now. Yeah, let's see. Now it has to be Orrego moving out of the way. Okay, that's it. And now they get close by again. Alright, look at that. Very close. Orrego is... I think he's gonna get the DRS. Yes, he gets the DRS from Montero. So that's not gonna help Acosta. Oh, no. Wow, look at the drive from Acosta. Wow. I'm giving Acosta driver of the day. At least so far, he's the driver of the day. He's showing that he still has it. Climbing from the back. And now he's in P6. And I think that's probably going to be the end for him. Oh, no, not in that way. I didn't mean it that way. Oh, he went off. But now he has to... Oh my god, he lost 2 places. That has to be commentator's curse then. 2 positions just like that. He probably got too excited. Oh no. Well, we're gonna have a few more laps of entertainment here with Acosta. 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go. He's already lapped. Oh my god, he was doing so good. I was trying to say that P6 was probably going to be the end position, just because he was 37 seconds behind Matt Harton in P5. But now he has to climb back again, and let's see. He has time. He has 4 laps to go. So the voting is going 100% to Josh Mills. Yeah, so say who you think is going to be the driver of the day. I'm not going to be running the poll, but just type it in the chat who you think should be the driver of the race. Sanabria and Orrego, they're close to each other now. Well, maybe there's hope for Acosta if these 2 guys take each other out. Kovacic, I see Kovacic very close. Yeah, he makes the pass on Senior. So Senior, he was running in P7, now he's running in P12. So those tires are just dying out. Now he's gonna be out of the points. It's gonna be no point scoring for Haas in this round. And meanwhile, up front, Montero 9 seconds behind. It's not gonna be enough. That strategy was a gamble, but it didn't pay off. Let's go back with Sanabria and Orrego. It's a three-way fight here, giving us something at the end of the race. There's still time. They have 2 more laps. 2 more laps, but it's not easy to pass here. You need to have the DRS. Acosta is right behind Sanabria once again, but Sanabria has the DRS from Orrego. Great finish here for the Suzuka. Sorry, for the Japanese Grand Prix. Yellow in sector 2. Hopefully that's not, yeah, that's not Lancet. That's good to see. Gotta make sure I don't lose track of Josh Mills, who's gonna clinch his first victory of the year if things go this way. Well ahead of Ezequiel Montero this time around. He was in total control, I think, last in Australia, but then we had the red flag event and things changed a little bit. I mean, they got to have a reset in strategies, and Montero just came out of, with a better choice and ended up winning the race. So we have Matt Hart in the pits. Oh no, no, Matt, he was doing but he has time. I think he has time to fix the car and then come out again, still within the points. Maybe he's gonna be in that train from Acosta, Sanabria, and Orrego, depending on how hard that car was hit. No, that's it. That's dropping now to P8, P9. Oh my God, Matt Hart was doing so good tonight, but that was a long stop. It's gonna drop now to P9, so that puts Clint Cooper 4th place. Oh, look at that. That's, I think, his brother's son. Yeah, so well, has some clean air, but that's gonna be it for him. Lap 51 of 53. These guys are still fighting each other. Orrego in 5th place, Sanabria 6th, and Acosta in 7th. Up front, some traffic for Josh Mills. And Montero just cruising on his own. But let's go back to this fight. They're gonna go for it at the end. There's Acosta again on the inside of 130R. Oh my, oh, it's so hard to make a pass there. So hard. Now you need to have the DRS and have a great exit here. I think this is the last lap for these guys. Yeah, it's probably the last time around they get to see this DRS, so they're gonna go at it. Costa's gonna go for it. But not enough, not enough. There's still another chance after the spoon. It's gonna be a dive bomb. I was gonna give Acosta the driver of the day, but after that mistake, I'm not sure. So maybe it's gonna be to Jean-Pierre Lancet. He's in P3, a very smooth race, very quietly there, avoiding all the incidents, and starting from P14, and now in the podium. That's just a great result. These guys are settling down, or maybe they already used up all the energies in the ERS. Still lap 52. We're about to start the last lap of the race. I actually missed that part, so this trio of drivers are gonna have one more chance at the DRS. Let's see what happens. This is it now. This is the actual last time they get to have the DRS. And Acosta, I think he's close. He's close. He might be able to pull it off. He might be able to pass Sanabria. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, so Acosta gets Sanabria on the last lap of the race. Can he get Orrego as well and finish in 5th place? That would be one hell of a comeback. Let me keep an eye on Mills. Don't miss up his race win. Yeah, Sanabria not easy to pass, but there he is, and now Acosta is going for it. It's gonna be chasing Orrego. Don't overdrive. That's all I can say. Just don't overdrive the car. You're still finishing in 6th place. It's not too bad, especially after coming back. Mills on the back straight. I'm not sure if Acosta is gonna have enough to make the pass on Orrego, unless there's some type of dive bomb on the chicane. And there's your race winner, the first victory of the season for Josh Mills in the Red Bull. Now we have a tied championship here between Montero and Josh Mills. There's Montero finishing the race in 2nd place. And these guys are going to be finishing right now a lap down, but they gave us a show at the end of the race. That was great to see. Juan Orrego in P5, Acosta in P6, and Alejandro Sanabria in P7. Now we're going to have to wait a little longer to see Jean-Pierre Lalancette crossing the start-finish line and claiming a well-deserved 3rd place. That was one hell of a comeback from the French-Canadian Jean-Pierre Lalancette approaching start-finish line. And securing a double podium for Red Bull. I think they're going to be moving up in the standings after this finish, considering that Sanabria didn't score too many points. Well, there you go. So Glyn Cooper, great result for the British driver. He's going to be P4 at the end of the race, so he's having a very strong start of the season. I think he finished in P5 on the 1st round. Great number of points for Glyn Cooper. So who else are we missing? So Thierry Sterrieu, P8. And then we have Matt Harto, who had that unfortunate incident at the end. We missed that, but he clearly lost the wing. He was fine in P5 and now dropped to P9. But still, he's gonna secure some points. I think the race is done for him. Yep. So they're making their way back to the pits. Alright, everybody making their way back. We'll go through the running order in a little bit. Make sure I get the camera set up. There's Mills in the pits already. There it is. Alright, so let's go through the results of the race. So your winner tonight is Josh Mills, commanding victory about 8 seconds ahead of Ezequiel Montero in 2nd place. 3rd place with a great comeback starting in P14 and all the way up into P3 for Jean-Pierre Lalancette for Red Bull. P4 belongs to Glyn Cooper in Alpine. Juan Orrego got P5. He managed to fend off Auto Acosta after Acosta made a mistake. So Acosta also had a good recovery from an incident early on. He finished in P6 for Alpine, so good points for Alpine tonight. Alejandro Sanabria in P7 for Mercedes, so Thierry Sterrieu getting some points for Ferrari in P8. Matt Harto was running in 5th place and then dropped out after some incident and losing the front wing. He dropped down to P9. Darren Fisher gets the last point of the race for Kick Sauber. Out of the points, we have Dejan Kovacic in P11 for Ferrari, Ricardo Sr. in P12 for Haas, and Bill Worrell for Racing Bulls in P13. He was trying to do a one-stopper, but I guess it didn't pay off. And the last running card for the night was Steven Broderson in P14 for Aston Martin. On the retirements, we have Sean Higgins for Sauber in P15, Aaron Rabi in P16 for McLaren, Argenis Riera in P17 after challenging for the race lead. He just had a disconnection, and that was game over for the defending champion. P18 for Jeff Oppenheim in the Williams, driving in for Richard Walcott. Eddie Setape has had some issues with the steering wheel. He ended up in P19 for Racing Bulls. And Juan del Castillo was the first car out of the race after a collision with Bill Worrell on lap 1. So let's see if we can get a few drivers to join us for the press conference. Alright, let's see. Back here, I'll put. Gotta wait for Josh Mills and Ezekiel Montero to join Discord. Okay. Okay, so I see Mills and Alan said. Let me just drag them to the channels here. Okay, gotta love this interface. Not letting me scroll to the channels. All right. Right, so we have Josh Mills here. We're gonna have we have Jean-Pierre Lancet also here in the interview room. We're just waiting for Ezekiel Montero to join us, and there's Ezekiel Montero. So yeah, we have all the podium finishers here. Let me make sure I don't have the music running. All right, so yeah, you guys are obviously live on the live stream. So Josh, tell us through what happened through your race and your strategy.
Well, strategy went according to plan, really. Started on the mediums, did about as many laps as I wanted to. Just wanted to break up the rest of the race. 40 laps left. Went for the hard tire, and I think I could have went a lot further on the hard tire, but wouldn't have helped me in the end. So jumped back on the medium. Had the pace to beat, I think, the 3-stop from Montero. So at least we'll give the strategist the trophy today.
Well, yeah, you are in Red Bull. That's that's their specialty. So how relieved were you when you saw Argenis Riera out of nowhere dropping out of the race?
Yeah, I was relieved, but you wish you don't want someone to disconnect and that be the way you pass them or win the race. But yeah, there was a quite a bit of relief because I think he was just stalking me.
Yeah, he was breathing down your neck. So we were getting set up here for a great race, but all of a sudden he just disconnected.
I know.
Yeah. All right, so Ezekiel, in Spanish, I guess. ¿Qué fue esa estrategia que hiciste hoy con tantas paradas por los mediums y después pusiste los soft al final? ¿Eso fue algo improvisado o fue el plan?
No, fue algo improvisado. No me llevaba bien con los hard, así que como vi que había podido llegar a él y pasarlo a Gata con medio hard, a Joss, dije si yo llego a ponerlo hard al final y es la contra, o sea, hard versus medium, no lo iba a poder aguantar. Entonces digo, voy a 3 pit stop, veo si puedo hacer un undercut y después rematar con soft al final con mejor ritmo, pero no, lamentablemente no tuve el ritmo hoy, así que...
Right. So yeah. So he said it was kind of improvised strategy. So he didn't pay off at the end. So Jean Pierre, it's good to see you here in the podium.
Yes,
One
sir.
of the
Thank
first few times that we see you here, and what a comeback
Yeah.
from you! You started in P14. So
Yeah,
tell us
thank
what
you.
happened through your race.
It was a good race, really. I had a little bit of luck on my side for once, and strategy worked well. I changed my strategy. I was gonna go yellow at the end, but I looked where Coop was at the when I got in, and I said, "Oh, I can get away with the hard again," because I really liked them, and kept going till the end, and it worked out. Very, very happy.
Did you get to see any of the incidents? Because the lap one was very chaotic.
Well, I had to go through that without touching anyone, and I
Yes.
managed to pull it through. I said, "My God, was I lucky!"
Yeah, that turn
Like,
one was very scary.
jeez, there were car everywhere, and I got through it without nobody touching. I said, "Thank you, man."
And then at the hairpin also in lap one we saw Bill Worrell going on the grass, and then he took a few cars. I don't think you were part of that group of drivers,
No,
but yeah, it was very hard to survive that lap one. But
no.
I'm happy for you. You got the podium finish, so yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations.
that's very satisfactory race for me.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you all, and congratulations
you,
again.
Janos.
Congratulations, Josh, for your first win this season. So you now have equal points to Ezekiel Montero in the championship. And the
Yes,
good
sir.
news for you guys is that now Argenis Riera is 50 points behind. So you guys should actually take advantage of that. All right, so let's see. Let's wrap up here the stream. Let me see. What do we have next? Let's see. Let me put up the calendar.
Bahrain.
We have Bahrain in 2 weeks. That's going to be April 9th. I think we will be running the paid track if I can get that set up correctly. But yeah, prepare for that. Yep. So I guess we'll be here again in 2 weeks from the Bahrain International Circuit. So thank you all for joining us, and good night.
Thank you, John.
All right, I'm just